Moms once again. So grab your tea. I have my tea here today. Of course, mine is a wonderful Godiva mug. This was actually given to me by one of my students. And the teachers receive gifts during the holiday time. And of course, you see my smudges because I've been drinking it. But I wanted to show you the Godiva. It was really nice. I got it during the Christmas time. And teachers tend to get lots of mugs. And we always say, the one thing teachers don't need are mugs because we tend to get a lot of them from our students. But I received this from one of my students, and it had Godiva chocolates in it, and hot chocolate. And it was actually really good, Godiva chocolate. And so now I have it that I can actually use it. So come on in today, actually tonight. And this is just a hangout time. So grab your tea. This is a time to just de-stress and moms just to talk. We're here to just have a good time. And if you're on here live, honestly say hi, and I would love to converse with you because this is our Q&A time. And I want to hear from you. It's all about you. I want to be able to serve you well, but if I don't know what you need, it makes it a little bit harder. But if you're on here, don't forget to like and subscribe if this is resonating with you. So I want you to kick off your shoes and definitely just relax and let's have a wonderful Q&A time. And whatever I don't know, of course, I will look up a few things, but I want us to definitely and absolutely converse and talk about the things moms don't talk about all the time. We will complain, or I want to say we vent about a lot of things, and we talk about, how do I say it? We talk about, the car mom writer lines, going to work, and we talk about all these things. But one thing at times we don't express as mothers is what we really want. And like I said, if you're on here, definitely say hi because this is a time where I can talk with you and go through what your needs are. And so I said that I'm going to have these little pop-up sessions where we will definitely be talking about your needs. What is it that you would like to address during motherhood? And so here I am on one of my pop-up videos to just really have a heart-to-heart talk. Hi, Luca, how are you? And hi, Ice Boy. On here, I do like to be kind because there are those who really want to talk about it. And so let's just talk. This is a no judgment zone, and I want to know what's going on in motherhood. So I call it a hangout because this is just time for us to hang out and really talk about the issues that are concerning mothers. So you can vent, you can be real, and I am doing very well. Thank you very much, Ice Boy. Definitely drop in the chat any questions you may have, and I will try my best to answer it to the best of my ability. And so, what's one thing you really want right now as a mom? So, Luca, I am talking about motherhood and the things that moms really want. They say a lot of the things like, oh, I don't like doing this and I don't like doing that, where they don't like making the lunch, or they don't like having to get the kids ready in the morning, but they're not really saying what they want. It's more of, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. But I want to come on here and hear what moms are saying so that we can address the underlying issue of what moms really, really want. Hi, Osvaldo. Thank you for saying hi. Um, As I don't remember how to, conjugate some of those words in Spanish, but I think it's as dices hola. But thank you so much for saying hi. Definitely like and subscribe if this is resonating with you. and just share this with other mothers. And I'm on here because you want me to explain from the father's perspective. The thing is that I tend to address the mom's perspective because I'm a mother. And I mean, I can talk from the mother's side in regards to, how we feel about how fathers participate in the household, but what exactly do you want to know about being a father, Ice Boy? What is it exactly that you want to know about? Tonight is that night when we're really talking about one thing you really want right now as a mother. Ice Boy, I don't understand um, the question you're asking, but I want you to be honest. Um, is it that, moms are looking for rest, a clean house, more help, a vacation, a nap, or all of the above? Because you don't understand my in speaking in English, Ice Boy, or you don't understand the question about for moms what they want right now. Because a lot of times, moms, we talk about what we don't want. But tonight I want to talk about what do you want? Because a lot of times moms don't know what they want. And if we can come on and we can talk about it, eventually we can get to the point where we say, oh, is that what I really need, when we address the underlying issue? So, oh, okay. The question is, what's one thing you really want right now? I'm speaking to mothers. Hey, Claudette, how are you? It's so good to see you on here live. I am talking to moms tonight, and I'm trying out a few times to see which time actually resonates with moms. And if you're on here, definitely like, subscribe. And I said that I'm going to be having these pop-up Q&A where we can just definitely dive into the wants of a mother. What does she really want? And we always talk about what we don't want. And what I want to talk about is, what is that underlying issue of what we really do want? And so, while doing some research, yes, Ice Boy, I'm very sorry about that. It's for mothers. Unless you know a mother you can share this channel with. So, in my, research, I looked in that a lot of moms, they have to remember appointments. They're looking about meals, school needs, household logistics, everything that happens in the home. Luca, thank you so much for the watch time. I really appreciate it. And so there's that invisible burden of a mental overload. And so in that cognitive load, it creates anxiety, it creates stress, and a feeling of never being off duty. And these are, Luca, every time you're on here, you give me some watch time. And so, Emiliano, hi, how are you? It's good to see you on. Don't forget to tell your mom to come on. And so these are some things that moms go through. They have a lot of the mental load, and they always feel like they're never off duty. They but then what they're really saying is that I just want some time alone. We can say what we don't want, or this mental load is hard, it's heavy, and it's not that we don't like it, or we don't like to do it, because as soon as the children aren't with us, what happens? We're like, man, I don't know what to do with myself, because we've created a routine of overload, of overwhelm. And it's like being in a narcissistic relationship where it's constant trauma that it's hard to break away from. And so, with that said, The question that I asked is, what's one thing you really want right now? And sometimes moms have a hard time actually answering that question. And is it a vacation, a nap, or all of the above? More help? So I used to think I wanted peace and quiet, like I said, until I actually got it. And then, I missed the chaos. And like I said, it's like being in a narcissistic relationship. It's hard to break away from it. We're so used to the chaos and the ongoing of the hustle and bustle of the home. But I had someone, yes, I know. Yes, Claudette, all of the above. You need help, you want a vacation, you want a nap, all of the above. Clean house, more money, all of it, name it. But one day I heard someone say, it must feel so good. And they were saying this to me because, of course, I have more than one child. And I had a lot of noise in my house on a regular basis. And they said to me, it must feel so good to hear your children playing and making noise at times. And because they had one child, they've gotten older, because what happens to moms, it becomes a little more difficult for them, especially when they've given everything to raising this child. That once the child becomes a little bit more independent, what happens is they don't need the mother as often. And because the mother did not establish anything for herself, it makes it difficult for her when that child gets older, where she doesn't know what she wants. She doesn't know what her goals are. She doesn't know how to describe, her superpower, I would call it, or her God given talent, because she never developed it. And what happens to a lot of mothers is they get caught up in motherhood. It overwhelms them, it overtakes them, and it becomes like this, you're on a hamster wheel and you're going and going and going. So I want to challenge all the moms here. What is it that you want for you? And I ask this question in mom groups, when I'm out with other moms, and I ask this question all the time. So if you could have it, or whatever that one thing is, and you would definitely pay for it, what is something that you would want in your motherhood? What would you want for yourself? And immediately, you know what they usually say? Oh man, I need a babysitter. I want to, um, but a lot of times it involves the child. Ooh, I want to get the bike for my child, because if they could ride, it would be so much easier to da 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 da. And a lot of times it turns into what the child needs so that, mom could be happy. But when I ask the question, it's, mom, what do you want? Think about it. What do you want? Think about it. What do you want for yourself? Are you developing yourself? Are you developing your God given talent? Are you growing? Are you living the life you want to live? Let's think about it and really ask yourself this question. Because when I ask moms, what do you want? They tell me what the child needs. And a lot of times, what we desire and what we want evolves around your children. And what happens to a lot of mothers when the children get older and more independent? It's difficult for them to function. And guess what? You get older. And it's harder to do some things that you could have done when you were younger. So this is why I say it's good to have mom friends. It's good to have mom groups, because you can relate. It's good to have a mentor, because they can guide you and direct you. Not only that, they can see what you don't see. They can see you self-sabotaging yourself. They can see a lot of things that you don't see. And this is why I ask the question, what do you want? Like, really sit down with the question and ask yourself, what is it that you want for you? Like I said, I used to think I wanted peace and quiet, but when it was quiet, I started missing the chaos. And then I realized what I really want is I want a vacation. I used to take a lot of trips, before having children. But then when I had my children, I took trips with them. So there so that I did not lose that part of me. I was a traveler, but I brought my children into it. Hi Randy, how are you? I brought my children with me, and they have now developed the traveling, I don't want to call it spirit, but just the trait of traveling. And it's funny because my family likes to travel. And that's something I like to do, and I didn't give it up. But I brought my children along with me, and they get to share in my joys. And when they see me happy, they're happy because your children don't tell you, but they feel good when mom feels good. They don't want mom yelling and stressed and feeling all out of sorts. They want to know that you're actually fulfilling um, your desires. And there's more to it than that in regards to the desire. And I speak a lot to Christian moms because there are a lot of things spiritually, but then there are a lot of things that we can apply from the Word of God practically to help us lead better lives. And so, Randy, the question I asked was to moms, what do you really want? What do you hear moms talking about? And like I said, I didn't give up certain things, but I incorporated it with my children. I allowed them to enjoy and see my joys. I allowed them to see me happy. I allowed them to see me doing things that make me happy. You see, when my children buy me gifts, they have an idea of what to buy me. They don't really have to ask a lot of questions. Sometimes they do because they want to get something different. But my kids know what I like, if you get what I'm saying. A lot of moms, like I said, they do everything around their children to the point where no one in their family even knows what they like. And a lot of moms are losing themselves. They lose themselves in motherhood. And I did it. This is why I do it differently now, because there was a point where I lost myself in motherhood. I quit everything and I just mothered. And that's when I had the breakdown. My health broke down. And this is why I don't suggest taking yourself out of the picture. And this is what I teach the moms that I work with. Don't lose yourself in motherhood. God wants you to be fruitful, and He wants you to work on your purpose. He wants you to build and grow your, I call it like a superpower. But moms, you were put here for a reason. Don't lose it, but allow your children to enjoy and feel that happiness because it trickles down to them. They feel what you feel. Have you ever seen a mom, like when you're at a store or you're just walking and a mom yelling at the child, like, stop it! Just stop doing that! Don't do it! Pick that up! You dropped it and the child is throwing a tantrum and all of these things. And mom is just frustrated. A lot of times there's a lot of things going on in the mother. Why? Because a lot of times mom is not being fulfilled. And what happens is deep down, mom wants something, but nobody knows what she wants because she's dedicated her life just to the child. And everything she does is for the child. So I want to share with you some of the wants that I have been hearing about. Hi, Randy. How are you? I'm glad you're doing well. I am well. Thank you so much. I'm trying out a few time slots where I know I can meet moms online. Um, Moms want time, they need help, they want appreciation. Moms want to be seen. And this is why I'm out here because moms, I want to know that you are seen. I want to know, I want you to know that you are seen. And guess what? Moms want money. Have you ever noticed that a lot of moms want work from home jobs? A lot of them do. And there are a lot of opportunities out there. But let me tell you, a lot of moms want to stay at home with their children because you know what? It really is a joy. It's a joy to have children. It's a joy to be able to spend time with them because that time goes really fast. You want to spend that time with them. So I really do talk to working moms. And I want to support you on ways you can find that time to spend with your children. And a lot of moms want that balance and, what you call work life balance. And one thing that I have learned through working with mothers, through research, through going through this, is that we go through seasons. There is a place and a time for everything under the sun. And there are seasons where you're in balance, and there are seasons when you are out of balance. And when you are in balance, that's the time when you prepare for just in case if you become out of balance. And while we go through our seasons, we talk about work life balance. You can have it, but it won't always exist because things happen, especially when you have children. When you work, when you put a schedule together, things change. You want to go somewhere and do something, things happen. Things won't always be balanced, but you have to be mentally prepared for these things. And this is why I wanted to have this heart to heart talk with all of the moms. There are a lot of things that you say you don't like, but we're not saying what we actually want. So when you get the time, then use the time to improve yourself. What is it that you want to do? Do you want to build a business? Do you want to learn how to sing? Do you want to craft? Do you want to be a marathon runner? What is it that you really want to do for you? And the next thing is, how can you help someone else? When you've developed yourself, how can you help someone else? Because I don't believe that God wants you to actually keep it to yourself, because it's more blessed to give than to receive. And when you've developed the gift that God has given to you, it's nice to share it with others. Share it with your children, share it with your family, and others out there who are looking to build as well. When you get the help that you need, what do you do with your time? So if you get a babysitter, what do you do with your time? What are you doing to develop yourself? And you can get the help. Sometimes we have older children, but they make a mess. Let's just say you get someone to clean the home. Let me tell you, not every mother likes to clean. Some love to do it. And they say that cleaning helps them feel, stress free. And that's great. Everyone is different. But when you get the help, you can hire the help. Being a good steward of your home, it doesn't mean that you have to be the one cleaning it, but you can delegate to who cleans it. But you need the money, right? So, how are you going to get the money? Are you going to do a work from home? Create your own business? I don't know. So, we can definitely delve into that, talk about it. So, you don't have to be the one to clean. You don't have to be the one to cook. You don't have to be the one to wash. You have so many food services out there that you can utilize. Sometimes we're so stressed and there's so many things we can do. We have so many options. And if you want to go into this a little bit more and talk about it, you can definitely send me an email or get onto my calendar and we can talk live. I do have a masterclass coming up on Wednesday, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, p.m., of course, 8 p.m. This Wednesday, October 8th, we will be on live. You can ask me questions there. And so, like I said, moms are looking for balance. And if this is definitely resonating with you, don't forget to like and subscribe and share this channel. If you could have one mom wish granted today, what would it be? Think about it. I am asking about you, not your child. A lot of moms sometimes have trouble answering this question, and I want you to really think deeply. Hi, Mike. How are you? And let me tell you something, Mike. I don't talk politics on my channel. I'm sorry about that. Actually, no, I'm not sorry about that. This is mainly geared towards working moms and what we can do to help and improve, you know, what we do for ourselves so that we're healthy, we're mentally stable, and things we can do to improve ourselves, we can build, and how we can support and help each other. Okay? So we don't talk politics. We always say, I want more time, but let's be real, if we had it, we'd probably just fill it with laundry or errands, anyways. And so, honestly, I would love to help you figure out a way that you can actually do the laundry without saying, all right, I have some time right now. I'm going to fill it with that. So instead of filling your time with errands, fill it with something that's going to build yourself. Drop down below and let me know what is something you want to do for yourself that you will do on the free time that you receive. Oh, okay, Mike, you said that Trump's tax plan is helping moms. How? Let me know how. Hi, Truth, how are you? Mike, I do have Pinterest. I do have a digital vision board. So I have created one. The vision boards you see behind me, I've created over the years. And, things have changed. And these are things that I like. And my interests and my desires, they have changed over the years. And, I look at these, there are different years. They're not in order. But over the years, I look at it and I say, you know what? I have attained this, and I have written the vision and I have made it plain. And so when I see them on my vision board, I I look at it and say, wow, I am building towards the things that I want. Will it be an overnight thing? No, and I don't believe so. But um, I have attained some of them already, which is a really good thing because, as the Word of God says, write the vision, make it plain. To some people, vision boards are underrated, but it helps to bring out some of your wants and desires. It may not be the exact thing, but it helps you to plan towards some of the things you want. And Mike, how did Pinterest change your life? I do have Pinterest and I do have a digital vision board. Um, and on Pinterest, absolutely not. It's not just to look at nails and outfits. There's so many things you can look for. How do you say it? Meals, recipes. You can look for. I've seen a lot of, like I say, bags, clothes, different things, shoes. Like people are so creative and they've made so many good things on there. And yes, I definitely have Pinterest, and I definitely have Etsy as well. I do not go on there as often, but I do have both of those. And like I said, I do have a digital vision board. So I've been doing vision boards over the years. These are not something that I've done like yesterday. This year, I only made one vision board, and it's up here. And sometimes vision boards, if you do the vision board with a group where when I've done most of these vision boards, they've been with groups, okay? What happens is it creates a space to talk. This is why, you don't want to necessarily do them by yourself, but it allows you to talk with those. Yes, Claudette, vision boards, when you do them with groups, it gives you the time to actually talk about your wants and your desires. And I said, when you do them with other mothers, you start to discover things you like. Sometimes we don't know what we like, but as we're going through the magazines and looking at clips, you're like, oh, this is nice, because sometimes we get so caught up in motherhood, we forget about ourselves. We're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that I like that. Oh, this is my favorite color. Oh, oh, interesting. Actually, I do want that. I didn't even realize that I did, because we're thinking about everybody else in the family and we haven't even thought about what we like, right? And Claudette, you should definitely try it one day. And hey, if you put a group together, I will help you to lead it, because I've done it multiple times. I've done it with groups where we've gone to a restaurant. I've done it with mom groups, and I've created, everybody comes together and they all bring their different magazines and stickers and things like that. Most of the stuff that you see on the board behind me, I didn't, these are not from my own personal magazines. This is from what we all come together and, um, we've all done together, and it creates conversation, especially if you're shy, you don't know what you want. It brings out the best in you, and it helps you to discover some things that you really like, and maybe there are things out there that you can actually pursue that you never thought about. This happens during those vision board making parties, they call them. The one up top I did at my church, and I did the one in the middle here, I did with a mom's group. We went to a restaurant, it was really nice. The one, the orange and blue, I did that one with my children. So my family, we all did that one together. And I have another one on the bottom. Actually has my name on it. That was actually when I moved out of the state where I was living, and I moved to another state. And I did that with my children, but I did that at a real estate company. I was just trying out a few things, and they had a vision board making party day. And I said, oh, I would love to try it. And so that was where that one birthed. So I did them all at different points in time. And like I said, they open up conversations to, likes and desires. If you cannot talk a lot of times with your children, you can do vision boards with them. My kids like to paint. So we have paintings, around the house of things that they've done, and we get to talk about it. So if we can't have, or if they don't like having heart to heart conversations, if you just sit down and talk, do the talking over things like a vision board or painting. Find out their likes and desires, and it creates for good conversation. And so, yes, Claudette, so definitely try it one day. And Mike, right. So you can use it for how you want your future house to look. Some reminders for your car, your maintenance, math equations, your businesses you want to start. Mike, what business do you want to start? I would love to hear about it. I started a business, and you know what, to tell you the honest truth, I've started multiple businesses over the years, and there's a lot of things that I've learned. I can give you a few pointers and tips, Mike. There are a lot of things that I've learned about business along the way, and man, trial and error. That's why I said I'm trying different times when I come online. But one thing about business building, in the beginning when I began, I used to do crafts. I used to make hand like bags, personalized bags for people, men, women, everyone. And people were starting to buy them. But my children were young. And I always had this fear of spending money. So, those people who hoard money, it's like, oh, nope, I'm not going to buy that and buy the cheap thing. And it makes it very hard. And as you can see behind me, I have a money tree. You see it right there? That is something I began to overcome about money. Because one thing, the mindset when you're building a business, is that you need to change your mindset about money, because you're going to find at some point in time that you're going to need to spend money. You're going to have to take some chances. And as you go along throughout your business, you look at the data and the stats, and then you begin to take calculated steps. Okay? You may not start out with everything there, but your mindset around money will definitely have to change. And little by little, yes, you do have to spend some money. And a lot of times we're scared and we don't want to do it. And a lot of times when we spend the money on our businesses, it actually helps us to grow faster. I'm learning that. And like I said, my mindset had to change because I was a money hoarder. I was like, oh, well, I have to make money. But the one thing I did learn is that in doing a business, you have to learn to serve people. And this is why I come out here and I say to working moms, what is it you really want? What is your desire? What are you looking for? Because I want to support you. Learn to serve people. And when you serve people, when I say it's more blessed to give than to receive, you will receive pressed down, shaken together, and running over. And so, like I said, if this is resonating with you, definitely like and subscribe and share this channel so that when I have these, Q&As, I've been coming out on Sundays, so I hope to see you all. And I'm trying out different times. And so when it comes up to building a business, especially for moms, it may seem difficult in the beginning, but you need to be willing to spend money. And if you would like to talk about it some more, you can definitely send me an email. The information is in my bio. And I would love to support you. This is me wanting to support because it's more blessed to give than to receive. If you have a question, I would love to answer it. And not only that, I would love to invite my lovely moms out to my masterclass this Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The link is actually in my bio, and I'm going to drop it in the comments for you. And I want to see you out because this way we can get to speak live. Yes, live. And in that, it's in my bio. I'm going to drop it in the comments a little bit later. You can always come back for it. But Mike, absolutely, you can use the digital vision board, and it will remind you of the kind of car that you want, the business you want to start, all of these things. And this is why I have these vision boards behind me, because over time I have changed my mindset. It doesn't always mean that it's something that I want, but like I said, the money tree, I say money does grow on trees because there is a way to actually receive it. And I am learning to change my mindset where money is concerned. So my money tree is really a mindset because we have lots of, how do I say it? Things that we believe about money that was passed down through us through the years. And there are a lot of things I have to get out of and change. And so instead of hoarding, learn to actually calculate where I'm going to spend my money in order for me to move to the next level. Moms, I know that you want that time, but guess what? You can get a lot of time by hiring somebody to clean the home. Like there's so many things you can do. If you want more time, there's a way to get the time. Like I said, I would love to talk more in depth about it. Drop in the comments, what is it that you want? I know I've been here talking, so I've been giving you time to figure out what you would actually like and want. And so what happens when we actually get what we want? Remember, I addressed that before. If you're coming on later, I am Leslie, aka Mother Motivated, because I love motivating mothers. It's something that I do one-on-one, not necessarily here on YouTube, but I love motivating mothers to get done what they know to do. There's so many things as mothers we know to do, but we're just not getting it done. And so we look for work-life balance, but guess what? You might be in a season that you may not be balanced, and that's okay. It's learning to get through that season. And this is where I want to support you. Don't forget to drop in the comments what you want. Sometimes it's a nap, the day off, a Target run. Wherever you go, Walmart, Target, H&M, Publix, Walbaum's, supermarket, who knows? But know what you want. Literally sit down with yourself and say, what is it that I want? And like I said before, I love to travel. And one thing I did not give up is traveling. I took my children with me. And so don't get lost in motherhood, but enhance it. Let your children see that you are fulfilling yourself, that you are fulfilled and you're happy, because children like to see their mothers happy. They don't necessarily want you yelling and screaming and carrying on, because at that point in time, mom, something is going on within you. You're not being fulfilled. You're feeling stressed. You're overtired. You need help. You're overburdened. You need a break. And so sometimes it feels good to get what you want. Moms, it's time for us to feel good. But sometimes it doesn't hit like we thought, but at times it feels good. Like that mom trip where you missed your kids, like 2 days. You go on the trip and it's like, oh my gosh, you go back into that motherhood. Don't forget to get your tea when we come on to these sessions. Even though you swore you wouldn't, because moms, we just love our children. But take some time for yourself. And so, have you ever gotten something you said you wanted? Sometimes we say we want something, but that's not really what we want. You get it and you're like, what is this? That's like kids who beg for a piece of candy they've never tasted and like, no, I want it, I want that. And then they get it and taste it and they're like, ew, what is this? So this is why I want you to dig down deep. Write on a piece of paper and say, what do I want? And then after you put down what you want, ask yourself, why do I want that? What are the pros and the cons? What is it doing for me? And so, is it time? But you know what I have been learning about mothers? That mothers want peace of mind. We're so stressed and bogged down. I mean, something as simple as peace of mind. Moms want peace of mind. When we're so stressed and tired, we just want to be at peace. Even we say we want time, we say we want a trip, but the overall underlying thing that we want is peace of mind. And there are some things you can do to get that peace of mind. Definitely, let's talk some more. Like I said, send me an email. Or, yes, Claudette, peace of mind is priceless. And this is why I talk with Christian moms. Because we live in a chaotic world. Our children are going to be children. They're going to give you a warm time. They're going to make trouble. But you have to know how to get your peace of mind. And like I said, come onto the masterclass and let's talk live, front and center. Or you can join my Facebook group. We can have a discussion in there. There's so many different avenues and ways we can discuss this further. And you can discuss it with other moms. And if you're on here, absolutely talk with other mothers. Because there are seasoned moms who've gone through things that you're going through now. And this is why I say get into a group with other mothers, because, and this is why I ended up doing these vision boards, is because I got into groups with other moms. Majority of the time, this was done in a group with moms and, or just with others, because it opens up discussions you thought maybe you would have never had before, and you learn things about yourself. So Claudette, yes, peace of mind is priceless. Moms are looking for peace of mind. I mean, it sounds so simple, but that's what a lot of moms are looking for. It's to get rid of that anxiety and the stress. This is why so many moms break down, because their mind is not at peace. Peace is good. The Lord gives peace. We can discuss that even some more. What's one thing that would make you feel really good right now? Drop it in the comments. Do you really know what would make you feel good? Not just getting things done. You want to get that done, and that's an errand. But what would really make you feel good? And if this is resonating with you, once again, don't forget to like and subscribe and share the channel. Go ahead and drop in the comments what would make you feel really good. And it has nothing to do with getting errands done. What would make you feel good? Sometimes it's so simple. And like I said, this is why I created my masterclass, to help moms figure out how to get what they really need. I created my masterclass to help moms figure out and how to get what they really need, not just what they think they should want, but how to get what they really need. So I would love to invite you to my masterclass. It is free. You don't have to pay for it. And then you can discuss with other moms live. And so let's talk in the comments. What's been your biggest aha while we've been having this discussion? Or funniest mom moment this week? Or even right now, since we've been here talking live? What has been your your greatest, your biggest mom aha moments? What have you learned about motherhood during motherhood? What have you learned? Let's take some data. Because sometimes we go through motherhood, but we're not taking any data. We're just going each and every day. We want balance, but we're not taking down any data. You know how you take some data? Man, there's so much we can discuss. Have a journal. What's going on each day? Let's address the problem at the root. Write in the journal about yourself, not just your children, because you can sit down and observe your children. It's easy to observe others. So, what's been your biggest aha, your takeaway from motherhood? What have you learned about yourself? Are you writing it down? So are you writing the vision, making it plain? There's so many practical steps and things we can do just from the Word of God that, you know what? You can't lose when you do the things in the Word of God. They're there to teach us. They're there to guide us. And, we gain the wisdom that is needed. And if you don't have it, ask the Lord for it. But every issue of life, I believe, can be found in the Word of God. So there are a lot of things that we do in motherhood that we can actually improve on if we follow the Word of God. And so many times we talk about the Proverbs 31 woman. And one thing I realized about her, just reading, is that she was very knowledgeable. Like the thing she taught her child, think about it. Did she just get that from nowhere? She got it from somewhere. She was learned. Who taught her? I don't know. Did she go out and learn for herself? Maybe. But just think about it. She was well learned. So moms, I implore you to improve yourself. You want your children to be better? You want your household to be better? Improve yourself. You're not just a mom. You think God put you here just to be a mother and a slave to the child? You have a purpose. You have to discover that purpose. There are things that God gives to you, but He expects you to be fruitful and multiply. So the thing that God has given to you, make sure you improve on it, because He does give you pressed down, shaken together, and running over. My son is having a great time out there if you guys hear him. But make sure that whatever you are doing, you are improving yourself. And sit down with yourself and figure out, write it down. What do I want? Me, the mother. Not for your child. What do you want? We want what we need. What we want and what we need, they don't always match. But when you start to write it down, you start to see patterns and you're like, that's not exactly what I wanted. But I guess this is what I really need. You start to discover things. And so, next time we're talking about the real reason moms don't ask for help. Moms, why don't you ask for help? Drop in the comments, why don't you ask for help? Because moms, we're not an island, and I would never suggest you do it by yourself. Motherhood is not easy. God didn't put you here to mother by yourself. Hi, Emiliana. Yes, God didn't put you here to mother by yourself. Ask for help. Ask for support. And if whoever you're asking help from doesn't know how to do it, guide them, teach them, show them. Tell your spouse how you would like the help, because guess what? They cannot read your mind. Men, they're very black and white majority of the time. Of course, you know there are exceptions to the rule, but you have to, in a way, thank you, Emiliano. In a way, you have to kind of spell it out for them from A to B on what you would really like to, you know, do. And I went to a marriage enrichment event. And I learned a few things in that we really need to take the time to sit down with our husbands and let them know, what we want for the family, what we want. And one of the big things was, what do we want for ourselves? Because we're two different people. What do we want for ourselves? And this is why I say moms, I'm mainly talking about moms, not marriages, but moms, what do we want for ourselves? We have to know what that is, because we're part of the family. And how is that going to affect the family? What is the action plan we're going to do? Is this going to affect the family? Yes, no, maybe so. And this is why I say sit down with yourself and make a note of what's going on, because we change daily, by the hour, by the year. Our wants and desires, they change. And those we live with, they also change. The colors we love now may not be the colors we love tomorrow. And so moms, definitely ask for help. And on our next chat, bring your tea, bring your coffee. You know what I'm drinking? I am drinking clove with cinnamon tea. It's good for you. I am seeing what those benefits will be and how they will actually work with me. And I would love to tell you about a lot of the teas that I drink. Most of them are medicinal, more so than just herbal. I drink herbal teas, but I drink a lot of, in the West Indies, we say bush tea, because of their health benefits. And like I said, there was a time in my life where I just mothered. I took myself out of the equation. That was no longer me. It was just, I am this child's mom. And my health suffered, and I had to get better. And I did a lot of natural healing. And so the teas that I drink nowadays are very medicinal, besides herbal, a lot of calming. And if you want to hear more about that, I would love to speak with you live. Definitely, absolutely. And so when I come to the end of these, I definitely say, if this is resonating with you, definitely like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. And send this to another mother, because what happens is when you come on here and watch these videos, it definitely talks to the algorithm. And I would love more to support more moms, and I would love for you to help me to do so. So definitely like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, and definitely check out my other videos. I have one for moms with the ADHD brain. There are things we do in the classroom that you can do as a mother to help to calm yourself, to get your me time. I did a video the other day, and there are things you can do from home that you already own. A lot of times we think we need to go out to this big spa and spend $150, $200 on the spa to get this mom day. I'm not saying that's wrong. I am saying that when you're at home, don't wait for the spa. There are things you can do. You can do the stress ball. Honestly, you can use the the dryer balls that you put into the dryer. So go to that video, and it's called the 5 things you can do from home on a budget, okay? To get that stress relief, because moms, working moms out there, we need some stress relief. We want to be free. We want to be flowing. And hi, Dino. I am Caribbean. There could be some things mixed in there. Because in the Caribbean, we do have lots of mixtures, of course, from European rule have come over with the Africans who've come over. So yeah, there are some mixes there. And I do have a few things mixed in, maybe a little Indian in there, definitely. And I don't know about the Somalian part, but I know my people, a lot of them come from, Claudette, tell me. A lot of them come from, I don't remember. I know where, but I don't remember the name off the top of my head while we're on here right now. But Dino, definitely like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. And I will be here again next weekend, God's willing, talking about more mom issues and things. I mean, yes, West Africa, but Ghana. Yes, Claudette, Ghana. I know a lot of my people come from Ghana. And so there's some Irish. Yes, a lot of Irish mix in there. That's how we get the language. The sound of the language comes from Ireland, mixed in with the African language and the patois, right? And so Dino, yes, there's some Indian in there. There are now you have Cubans mixed in. You have Spanish. So all of that is definitely in there. Okay? So with that said, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this channel. And be here next weekend. I would love to hear from you. And I hope you're enjoying this. And I would love to hear in the comments, what resonated with you, what you like, what you would like to see more of. And this way I can bring you the content. So I'm not just here rambling. I want to hear what, my working moms really want to talk about. All right? I love you. I love you. I love you. And you go out there and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.